All right. Really appreciate the media being here, especially you guys from Nashville. You do a phenomenal job, and to drive over here every Monday, I really appreciate it. So thanks for everybody being here. To go back on the Florida Atlantic game real quick, I just want to give a kudos a little bit to our equipment staff. You guys that weren't there. Some of you were there, but you were in the press box. As bad of conditions as those were, as hard as it rained, Matt and Dee and Jay Bird and Zach and Hayden and Wes and those guys in the equipment room, our managers, all of them. I know I'm leaving everybody out, but those guys did a heck of a job out there. So I just want to acknowledge them. That was a great win for us. It was the elements were incredible. It was a really it affected the game, and the way our guys played, the way they competed. We had a 300-yard passer, a 100-yard rusher. We almost had a 200-yard receiver in the game. To be able to do that in those conditions was pretty incredible. So we played extremely hard. Our defense, played really well at times, and just really proud of our team and the resiliency and the competitiveness that we played with. So it was a great win for us. Going on the road's hard, as you guys know, to win, and I'm really proud of our team. Got North Texas this week. They made a coaching change a few weeks ago. The record's not, what they'd like for it to be. They've got one win, but it's not. They've got a good team, and you guys think I'm just saying that. We just went down and played a team that had two wins, and that game went down to the wire. So we're playing a good team. They've got good athletes. Mike Canales, their interim coach, has done I've known him for a long time. I respect him. We respect North Texas as a team, and I know he'll have those guys ready to play. They just, got beat by Tennessee on the road by, 24-0, and I think Tennessee's got a really good football team. So this game is not about their record. It's about, everybody's going to look at it and think hey, this team's got one win. It ought to be a walk in the park, and it's not going to be that way. We've got to make sure we're mentally ready and physically ready to play it, and I don't expect it to be anything but a four-quarter game again. So they've got good players. They've got good coaches over there, and I know they'll be ready to play, and we know that we're going to get their best shot. And but looking forward to playing this game and honoring our seniors as they go out on their last home game. So I'll open it up to questions.
Coach, since McCarney's firing, has North Texas's offense or schematically have they changed since his firing, and what do they do best that will challenge your defense?
I don't think they've changed that much. I think when you change coaches, you're not going to change, especially when you change in the middle of the year, you're not going to change schematically. You may add a wrinkle or two, but they're pretty much and I have a lot of respect for Dan McCarney also. I thought he's an excellent football coach as well, and he did a great job at North Texas. So, they've got good athletes. Their quarterback is a guy that can move the chains and beat you with his feet. He's played now. They're kind of playing two guys there earlier. They've kind of settled in on him now. So they got good receivers out there. I mean, it's no different than what we've seen. We've got to play the game. We got to be able to stop the run first, and try to make them one-dimensional. But they've got good players. They got an experienced offensive line. They got backs. It's a good team. So they present challenges with the quarterback is with him being able to run the ball as effectively as he can. And he throws the ball well also. So we got to be ready to play a complete game.
I think you kind of answered my question with that one, but I'll go ahead anyway. There's not a lot that jumps off the page when you evaluate this team on paper, but we know games aren't played on paper. So what is it that jumps out to you when you watch the film?
You're right, and that's what I said. You know, you're not playing. You look at their record, and you know, it's not where they want it to be. But you don't play. I say it all the time. You know, it's not about who you play. It's about us. And you guys get bored hearing me say it all the time, but it's exactly what it is. And we have to worry about ourselves because that's all we can control. We can't control how North Texas is going to play. But the thing that stands out is how hard they play, how they finish games. They've been out of games early in some games, and they played just as hard in those at the end as they did at the beginning. You know, you turn on the Tennessee game, I guarantee if you talk to Coach Jones and his staff, that they're going to tell you how hard they played. And so that's the thing. And as a coach, that's more important than anything. When another coach says you can see how hard they play, the passion that they play with. So they play hard. That's what stands out the most to me on tape.
Coach, when you look in, Middle's been playing football 101 years, and you have a freshman who has already blown past the all-time single-season passing record. How do you put that in perspective?
You know, just he's had a heck of a year. You know, Brent's had a heck of a year. He's got good teammates around him. You know, and to do it in 10 games, you know, he hadn't finished out the season. So, like I said, I usually look at all that stuff at the end of the year, but it's a testament to how hard he's worked in preparing for this year, the teammates that he has around him, the coaches that he has around him. But, you know, it's just been he's really had a phenomenal year. He's just done a great job throwing the ball, making decisions. He's protected the ball. You know, so I hope he continues it here these next, you know, few games. But, you know, we'll probably evaluate all that or, you know, kind of look at it and put it in some kind of perspective here at the end of the season.
During the FAU game, after Desmond fumbled the ball, Shane and Jordan got more carries. Could you tell us about their progress? You know, it didn't look like they're still 100%, but they looked. I mean, Shane topped 100 yards. Can you evaluate that for us?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You know, Dez, you know, fumbled on that, you know, first carry, the second play of the game, and Dez is a good player. He's going to be a great player. He's just a freshman, and in those conditions and happening so early in the game and happening the week before against Marshall, you know, I made the decision to go with Shane and Jordan the rest of the way. So, but Dez he'll play this week. He'll play a bunch. He's a good player. Only going to be better as he plays more. Shane, I thought Shane is close to being his old self. You know, he still has that knee brace on, which gives you the illusion that, you know, he's not healthy, and he kind of drags his leg a little bit because of the brace. But, you know, he played hard. He ran the ball hard, had some good runs. I still don't think he's 100%. I think he's getting closer each week. Jordan played, you know, he got in there and played some, needs to play more. I think he's, like Shane, getting closer to being healthy, 100%. You know, he's not there yet, but we need those two guys, and Dez included, you know, here down the stretch.
Coach, you talked a couple of weeks ago about one of the goals that was still out there for your team was to make a bowl. You have 5 wins right now, 2 games left. 6 is always the benchmark for bowl eligible, but given some of the history here, 6 wasn't always enough. What do you tell your team about these last 2 games? Do you feel like you need to win 2, or the way the conference shakes out, would 6 do it this year?
You know, I haven't looked that far ahead. You know, when we were 3 and 5, you know, I guess I was coming off La Tech. You know, I just told them our goals are still out there. We still have opportunity to get to a bowl and have an opportunity to win a bowl. And said that before Marshall, and then we got to 4 and 5, and I said the same thing going into last week at FAU. Now we're at, you know, 5. We've got 5, and I told them yesterday, the same thing. I said, you can't relax. We can't. You know, I told them Friday night before the FAU game, this is not a game to be casual. We're not, you know, we got to have a great edge, got to play with great toughness, and that's what we're doing. You know, I told them yesterday that, you know, keep the blinders on, so to speak, and just focus on us this week and preparing the best we can, you know, to play North Texas. And we all know you got to get at least 6. And then that's what we're trying to do, you know, try to get 6, and then we'll worry about 7 next week against San Antonio. And then when the Bowls decide who they want, you know, we'll see where we land. But I haven't told our team we've got to win 4 out of 4 or 3 out of 4 or 2 out of these last 3 or 1 out of the last 2, excuse me, or we got to win the last 2. We hadn't done that. It's all been a mindset, a focus of, you know, win this game this week.
Coach, was the situation where your defense had to face 7 straight snaps of down and goal, was that a growing up moment for them?
You know, I think, you know, we've done well, you know, throughout the course of the year. I mean, we've stopped people, you know, down on the goal line, you know, before, in the red zone before. So we've played, you know, good red zone defense, you know, for the most part this year. You know, there's, you know, a lot of great coaching, teaching moments, you know, during that possession. You know, we talk to our team all the time about being disciplined and not having, you know, foolish penalties. And unfortunately for them, they had one on the taunting going in to score. Same thing with us. You know, everybody talks about that, but we had a penalty on that same play because we retaliated, you know, when he taunted us. You know, so they moved the ball back and, you know, and then penalize us, you know, to the 10-yard line because of our unsportsmanlike conduct when we retaliated back to him. And then so we get him stopped on 3rd down, and it's going to be 4th and, you know, 7 or 8, whatever it was, and we had a rough in the quarterback penalty that put it 1st and goal on the 5. And, you know, so I think more than anything, Chip, is the high of stopping them on 3rd down, and now you got it at 4th down, you know, after giving up the explosion play, the high of stopping, now, hey, stop one more time. We got a penalty. Now you have to, now it's 1st and goal on the 5. Now you have to reset your mindset and the mental toughness to, hey, let's bow our neck and let's do it again. And just make them snap it one more time. Keep the ball in front of you one more time. They don't give you points, you know, until you cross that white line. And that was the mentality of our defense, that series, that entire series. And that's the way it's been, you know, the whole year. That everybody has played defense in the past. That's the mentality that we've always had. So I think it was more of a testament to their toughness, their resiliency, their persistence, more so than a growing up moment.
You have 28 seniors, you said, and you've been here 10 years. What's the, I guess, mindset to keep that from being too emotional for these guys?
Yeah, that's a great question. You guys have been here. I don't ever make a big deal out of senior day. And you can ask our seniors in the past. To me, we honor our seniors or try to honor our seniors the best way we can at our banquet. And that's when we make a big deal of what they've accomplished, what their experience has been here. We'll go out there and we'll, give them a ball and, a flower for their family and all that stuff. But, I've never been one to get up and have the seniors talk because it's not their last game. And I think if you put too much emphasis on it, the emotion, like you said, overtakes their preparation and their focus for how they're going to prepare for the game. So, it's the last game at home, but it's not the last game. And try to honor our players at our banquet in January.
What makes Richie James so special?
One, he's very humble. And if you look at all the great players here, in college, in the NFL, at NBA, wherever, your great players, in my opinion, are always humble. They're appreciative of the people around them. So one, I think it starts with that. Two, he's a really hard worker. He prepares during practice, during the week. He prepares like a professional. He's a good athlete. He's got good ball skills. And this goes back to being a good athlete, but it controls his body in space. And, so I think when you combine all those together, it makes him a special player.